Hey, how's it? Aloha. I told you I was going to be busy today. A couple of videos are coming out today because I got to take a break in the middle of next week and I kind of like want to gang up on a little stuff here. I am circling back into Jinjer. You know, the Jinjer fan base has been really kind to me because I am the old composer that decomposes and not familiar with the band, as though from the first one compared to the knowledge that I've gotten now. Thank you so much for sharing things with me. That's really, really important to me because I'm a little old, I'm a little lazy, I drink my coffee and stuff. I don't do a lot of research. When I get the tidbits from you guys, it really, really helps. And something else that I just want to say before I start this video is that, you know, the musicians in Jinjer, as well as in a lot of these other bands that I've been reacting to, are it feels so cool, but it's mind-numbing how talented they are beyond the scope of the genre they play. And when you find out that they play in other bands and other projects and stuff, and it shows the depth and the dynamics of their skill set and their education, you know, the fact that they want to, you know, circle around and dedicate that energy to pushing all various types of rock and metal forward is what I'm really enjoying, and Jinjer is one of those bands. So I look forward to this. Jinjer, I Speak Anatomy. By the way, thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for those of you who've been just dropping a little tip for my cup of coffee, because the channel's not monetized, and if any ads do run, it's not me, it's a copyright claim from the publisher. So let's do this. All right. Okay. Wow. This is insane. If this is the first time you're experiencing a journey like this with me, I do stop. My reactions are not your standard reactions, you might say, on YouTube. I try to bring out elements so that for the listener who just enjoys the music for music, has a little something to hang on to. But there's so much to hang on to with this. The first thing I wanted to bring up really quick, and this isn't a slant. You know, some people might see this as a badge of honor, but the beginning did remind me a little bit of the Rush YYZ flying rhythmical pattern. It wasn't the same, but it had that same setup. You know, it really was setting up, and you knew it was going to take you somewhere else. Now they get into that main riff that they played, and before she comes in with her vocals, the riffs are, that riff that they're playing there, there's definitely an odd time there, but I'm trying to catch it and I didn't. So that's something I'm going to have to go back and get, but this is not theoretical. But it definitely kept me pulled in to the pocket, and it caught me as a composer. There was a little 2-bar, it felt like there was a 2-bar or partial measure turnaround that was like, wait, what? And I said, okay, wait a second, don't stress over it. So they're playing the opening riff there, and it's not muted. And what I mean by that is it's not, I don't know why my words aren't coming out right now. Staccato style playing. So they're holding their notes incomplete. If you don't dun dun ticka ticka dun 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 ticka, but then she comes in and it goes into dun dun. They mute it, and they give her this beautiful space to do what she does better with her voice. Oh my God, her voice is just beautiful. That clean part of her voice is insane. But what I thought was just so cool, and this is hats off to the not only the arrangement and the composition, but to the engineering, is that the final phrase of the riff, she's doing lyrics on top of it, and they go hard left, hard right. That is so cool to me, because to me, music is such a dynamic adventure that these kinds of musicians and bands put so much energy into, and that even if you are going to listen to it through a little speaker on your cell phone or something, you're still going to get a sick song. But if you have the ability to have headsets on, that experience just takes it just even beyond. Once again, not surprising, she gets into her growling, and that's amazing. As I'm learning more about the growling techniques of singers, it doesn't shock me. But I love that that journey brings you into that turnaround. She gets into it, and now it seems like it's coming back into another verse. Also, the bass player, man, I heard some. If I'm correct, I heard some just popping, some thumb slapping, or some full on popping in there in a turnaround. I think that was just crazy. It's a little overwhelming for me sometimes, because I want to enjoy the music to the best of my ability, but trying to pull little things out there as I do in these reacts makes it, I get a little like, ah. If I ever miss something, and when I'm rendering this out, I go, oh crap, I forgot to say something about it, I always pin a comment to the top, and I'll say, oh dude, I totally forgot about this. Anyhow, let's go back a little bit like I do, and let's run forward.
Let this binary be blessed by holy X-rays. Singularities are nest. If there is Lord out there, he is just a ghost sitting in his spaceship, observing the parade. Space form so delicious. Dark matter is so. Tell me, why are you so suspicious when you see black holes in my eyes? Don't discontinue this expedition. Let's talk about the horizon of my eyes. Come and join me in my rotation. We won't be here by normal bars. Our reunion will stack the celestial. The very moment stars got us baptized.
All right, I know I shouldn't have stopped there, and this is probably going to be a glorious piece. I just got my famous chicken skin right before this turnaround, but I had to bring up that the drummer is a machine, and it is so stupid, sick, crazy, the drumming on this. You know how I'm about engineering. Another masterful example of the kind of engineering that's going on here is that her voice is delicate during when she's singing, meaning it's beautiful. And you definitely want to get all the timbre in her voice through in a mix like this. And having such a powerful, ballsy, musical arrangement and slipping her right in a perfect pocket It could be a nightmare for an engineer. I've had issues with it when I did demos back in the day, but I never did demos of quite this style of music. But when I was doing demos, with heavier metal, and there'd be softer singing, and I'd have to battle, where am I going to pocket this? Because there's also variable volume in the voice and the performing during that. Anyhow, the engineer created such a perfect pocket for her to live in. It kind of reminds me of kind of a, if I'm doing theater of the mind, kind of a concave scope to the mixing, so that in the middle is where she lives. Beautiful harmonies in. I want to say that was a turnaround. I'm not sure, because now we've gone into a couple of different changes in the arrangement. Beautiful background arrangements that they didn't overblow it. Probably every 4 bars I heard these just really long whole notes that she did in harmony. And then it goes into that other kind of mind-altering passage where it locks you back into this pattern, and it's getting you all hyped, and the rhythmic pattern is drawing you in, pulling you in. Now, I'm trying not to watch too much of the video, but it's also really cool to watch that, because I'm just doing this, I'm not doing visual. And I think that to this point they're about to take us through a place that's going to be the what I like to call the come on, like, oh, okay, here we go. All right, old man speaking. Let's go back. Let's see what we got for us. Okay, I'm gonna please don't hate me for stopping, okay? I had to look. I thought this was just a hard ending, and then when I moved my mouse over, I could see there was still some more to play. Wow, what do I love about that passage now that I went through it, is that it was very beautiful, wide open, and ambient. Okay, there was a lot of reverb on that guitar pattern that was being played, and it's what I would call an infinite hall sounding kind of, or infinite universal kind of reverb, and it brings you through the abyss. When you close your eyes and you just listen to it, it just brings you through the abyss. And very nice little chord change after the 4th bar. I really enjoyed that. It was a nuance, it was subtle, but it was very nice. Then what I love is the fact that I felt, as a composer, you can feel when there's going to be change and turnaround, that when they came in harder with the guitar and the drums, what they did is they just actually accentuated, or the exclamation pointed, if you would, this section, because they still kept her, she's still singing in this beautiful, lush, kind of goddess-style voice. And, the other arrangement's still going behind, but then they go ahead and give you the people's elbow again by bringing back that little, powerful, not little, huge guitar and drums. Now actually he's taking it to another level. So I'm going to go back. We're going to go back to that quiet space. I'm so sorry, but I'm telling you, that quiet space is like a total sonic reset, So I'm going to go back, and I promise I'll finish it out, and then I won't say anything. I won't stop anymore. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, good. Okay, now I think that's the hard ending that I was looking for. On the way out, you guys are the fans of Jinjer, and this is, I think, only the third song I've ever heard. And it's just so crazy, the trajectory of their creativity thus far. And I know that there's a few albums and tons of music to go through. But something else I want to bring out, her voice in that last passage, there were some subtle, beautiful, I don't want to say squeaks, but the way she led into some of her notes, you really felt the soul of the performance there. That was my opinion, It is what I consider goddess singing level right there. And she is absolutely tremendously talented. It's just mind-numbing. There's a lot of tremendously talented people out there that I haven't caught on until I started this channel. And I feel blessed. I feel like I'm totally grateful for doing this just out of a whim. And my daughter says, hey, try doing this. Everybody else is doing it. And for me to hear this and to become a new fan of acts and stuff is so exhilarating. I'm thinking of ox send. Engineers, they get it. Anyhow, I gush on. Thank you guys so much. Somebody dropped this link in there about 2 weeks ago, and I saved it. Continue dropping the links, and I'll get around to what I can when I can. You can imagine how many I'm getting. I want to thank you again for your support. All the links for their Spotify and their music is going to be down below. Link for the headsets, and also finally, once again, if you consider buying a cup of coffee, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me because I also usually get some really super cool comments through the Venmo app or whatever it is. So anyhow, thanks a lot. Believe it or not, I've got another one coming soon. All right. Aloha.